Hi, happy day. It's Madison with Restorative. I hope that you've had a wonderful day so far. Here, it has been so sunny and amazing. Got a wonderful walk in with Marley, and I'm just so grateful as to how recharging and special, really, if I really break it down, other than, here and there, I probably haven't gotten an outside real good walk like that since like October, November, right? Because of the elements. So when you get out there and the sun is open, it's just coming down on you, and there's no clouds. And even though it's funny too, because I think about it, I'm like, well, what is it? It was like 40 something, so it's still really cold, kind of, but it didn't matter. It was that charging and that really re-energizing that almost feels like I was allowed to just really enjoy, and I hope that so many others are getting to do that. I mean, many people don't fight the elements to get out and enjoy that, and I'm not saying you take it for granted, because I'm sure you're enjoying every moment and you're there for a reason. But with that, so I really wanted to say that I super enjoyed time out there today. Marley is exhausted, which is hilarious. I'm like, because he's been in there too, right? Like just waiting for it to be warm enough and good for him to be out. So you kind of get this almost Tiggerish feeling where you're just like ready to spring into your life and the new seasons. So excited for that part of my world. And I wanted to share a couple things because I was thinking as I was walking and looking at just different people out and remembering some of the things, when people are first starting, or when you're growing into something and you're doing healthy things or you're making changes. And there's two kind of things that there's two little stories I wanted to share. One of them was when I lived in Panama City Beach, and maybe three stories if you're lucky. When I lived in Panama City Beach, there's this bridge as the Hathaway Bridge, and it's kind of like the Juneau Douglas Bridge here in Juneau. And it would take you from either Panama City into Panama City Beach. And I lived on Panama City Beach. But this Hathaway Bridge was fantastic. It would take you over a bay. The bay. It would take you over a bay area. No, maybe not a bay. Either way. It was a waterway. You could even see dolphins swimming under and such. So it was really quite wonderful bridge. Very wonderful. Hathaway Bridge. Anyways, and I used to like to walk it. And I would always see everybody jogging and just being like, just crushing it. And I wasn't really there yet for jogging, but I wanted to start. And so from there, I started jogging I would jog to a light pole, walk to a light pole, jog to a light pole, walk to a light pole. And then, of course, after a while, you're like, oh, I could go a little bit more. And so for however long it took, I would just keep building up, and then I would just, continue, and then I would get faster, and then I'd be like, oh, wow, that didn't take long at all. Maybe we'll do another, I'll add another back and forth then. And then I remember the day that I went full beast mode, and I had trained for it. I felt it. I was jogging the whole bridge nonstop, front there and back. Wow. And let me tell you, it's a bridge, right? So not all bridges, some are flat, but this one is definitely the one that kind of goes up and then you go down, so you have to go. So that's two up ways, right? I had to go uphill two ways. Well, with that, I just felt so proud of myself. And as I'm coming down and I can see the end of it, and I'm just like, yeah, I did this. Dude, this smoking hot guy comes flying past me in a full sprint. I'm like, that's know, goals are good. Good for him. You know, jogging. I'm super like, that's awesome. Still in my moment. Still in my moment. He gets to the bottom of the bridge. And like, he's shirtless the whole thing. He starts doing push-ups off the side of the bridge. Like all these like little like exercises. I mean, the just sprint that he just did must have been like the warm-up. Great. Either way. So I'm like, yeah, that's cool, man candy and all that. But I just was like in this huge moment where I felt like that in here. But I was instantly reminded how much farther, well, I'm never gonna do push-ups like that, I don't even think. But anyways, but it was so funny for me to be like, oh, nice. So either way, like that little moment that I was celebrating was still awesome. It still also gave me like a different thing to like look how much all this effort will get you or continue to get you, like how much strength is in that. Like I'm never, well, either way. So how fun was that, right? Anyways, but it was also a reward. I looked at it always, trust me. But I was like, nice. And he's doing push-ups. So anywho, so that was a good one of just like where you are versus like where other people are. Still celebrate your victories. Watch other people's totally normal actions that would be a victory still be something amazing for them too. Like celebrate all aspects of it. Here's another one. When I lived in Florida or Panama City Beach, I used to ride my bike 6 miles every day. I loved it. Up and down North Lagoon. I had it measured. I got it down. Like I do challenge myself like that. But okay. So when I moved to Juneau, I really didn't miss bike riding, and I ended up finding like I got to use a bike here, and then I figured it out from where I was living. It was 6 miles there and back to the glacier. So now I had like this totally like, plus I'm in Alaska, so it's this wild Alaskan adventure. There could be bears, there could be anything, yeah. So with that, I made it a point to regularly get out there. Motion is so much, right? It helps activate our core. Anything you're doing, left brain, right brain, or left, right side, like that kind of stuff really is going to help you process stuff. And I'm always going to talk about this, like, because this is what, when you are healing and you're growing and you're changing and you're living, when you're living, you must continue to do these things where you can. If the weather doesn't allow for that or allow you to be out or circumstances, you have to find something you can do at home, right? So like at home, like I always joke about it. I have like these pink glasses that make everything pink. I have a sad light that I use. I'm on a Gazelle. I'm listening to binaural beats or positive stuff. Like you gotta keep moving. Resting is resting, but also rest when you need to rest. Like that's a whole other thing. Your body will tell you if you listen, but it'll also tell you when to move. Like today, when I saw that sunshine and I was like, it's go time. You have to know, and your being will tell you. Okay, so back to the glacier. So this was especially when I was just like getting back into Juneau and I was fresh out of my accident. Well, I would go on the bike ride, and when you're driving or you look at the hills, these little hills on the bike path, they don't look that big at all. But when you're like riding your bike and you're just not, I don't know, you need it when you're starting something new and you're riding your bike. That hill was kicking my butt so bad. Like these little hills, and I would get up there and I'd be like, sometimes you have to just like slow pedal, you just do the stand up, but like all that. So this has been like a few weeks of me doing this like almost every day, like really just working on it. This particular time, I make it up the hill, and I'm like, I went slow, but I was like, I kept my composure more this time. Like it wasn't as taxing as the others. Well, as soon as I do that, I get whizzed past by somebody like totally casually smoking a cigarette, riding their bicycle. Like my capability, this was like 5 years ago or 4.5 or whatever, but what I'm saying is, like, even with that, like, that victory for me right there was like, whoa. Like, I knew the amount that I had come, the distance I had physically, emotionally, and just really, you know, literally had come to make that, but how easy it is for other people to just, like, casually be smoking and doing that same path that I'm on, and it's like no big deal. That's gonna be for all of us at any given time, for almost any given circumstance around us. Sometimes you are the sprinter with so much energy and strength and time to sprint and do a full everything. Or sometimes you're making it light pole to light pole, and that's a victory in itself. I really, I like to get a mile in a day, an hour in a day. I like just to get, you know, well, my average is, you know, around 3 or 4, 2, 3, 4, this, because the winter time holds me back. But it won't always, because I'm going to learn how to find the balance to where it's not so extreme in my life. And how exciting to do that. Like, in these small victories and these small things, they come to bigger things and ways for you to integrate what super works for you, adds new levels of adventure, personal growth, those kind of things. So wherever you are in any kind of journey and any kind of adventure, do remember as much as you can to be out in nature, out in this world. Smiles, interactions, hugs, new people you meet, they just add to your energy and help to uplift you. And who knows, when you uplift others with your smile and energy. I think I said hi to probably 30, 40 people today. Maybe. I love it. That helped me to see everybody else enjoying their day. And finally, I did want to share how special I believe the power of nature and your environment, no matter where you are, matters. Even if you can get out for 15, 20 minutes, the more the better, right? Whatever you can get out for. Because sometimes I imagine to myself that a quick energy tune-up could be 2 birds chirping, a chipmunk making a noise, or a squirrel, an eagle chiming in at the perfect time, the wind and the trees blowing. All that is a frequency of its own, nature's frequency. And then you're breathing it in. My nose kind of started to run a little bit. I felt like I was clearing out. I started to do some deep breathing as I walked, really just absorbing that energy around me and the sun, just feeling, got to take my hat off a little bit. So never underestimate the power of that time spent. Of course, any time you spend on yourself, you will get so much of a loving reward, because our investments in ourselves and our energy to uplift are so special. So keep that in mind. And when you hear an annoying bird, maybe woodpecking, maybe sometimes like in the morning super early or whatever, maybe you need to hear that. Maybe. I love to hear seagulls, all of it, the birds, even the bugs zipping by. Take in all of that. Enjoy your day. Thank you for your time. I wanted to share maybe just that today. That's all I kind of got. I'm good with that. I'm gonna get ready. Got a full session today. Happy Monday. Thank you for your time. Take care of each other. Appreciate everyone out there making time to help others. It matters so much. I love you. Thank you. Bye now.